yourself for a nightcap. Chill, you know, kick back.
Welcome to the Nightcap. It's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and we're less than a week away from Valentine's Day. So, are you ready? Do you have the gifts for your loved ones ready? But how is actually your relationship going? Are you guys in a good space? Might be time to check in. And I've got the doctor just for that. And it's not just any doctor. Y'all know her. It's Dr. Viviana Coles. She's a relationship and sex therapist, a big friend of the show.
Yes.
All right, so Valentine's Day.
Huge day. Huge day for people in my position, for everyone. But like, does it have to be such a big deal?
Yes.
Kinda, yeah.
Yes, I mean, Hallmark made it that way, and we've eaten it up. I mean, at this point, right?
We
Like,
really
society
have. But I think it's mainly that women are saying this is our excuse to be able to say, you have to adore me that day. This is when it's okay for you to shower me. It's expected. Does it have to be expensive? No.
Okay.
But it does have to be recognized in some way, shape, or form, or have a conversation about it.
Let's say we're a new couple, right? And
Yes.
we're like, oh, we're trying to figure this out. Like, this is our first year together where we're about to have Valentine's Day. What conversation should we be having?
Okay, first of all, it doesn't matter how new you are. You have to recognize that it's Valentine's Day.
What do you mean? So, like, let's
Even
say
if
we've
it's a
been
happy
dating-
Valentine's Day text,
Oh, okay.
say something. It's the people who are like, do we even talk about it? Do we even acknowledge it? Don't have any expectations of gifts or like crazy dinner plans because it's too late for you. If you didn't make plans already, Houston is booked.
Yeah, sorry.
You're eating at home and that's okay. But acknowledge that it's Valentine's Day, even if it's just a simple happy Valentine's Day.
So that this applies for couples who've like maybe gone out on like 3 dates, maybe?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And now if you've been out on 3 dates, there might be the expectation that you're gonna be spending the day together. Figure it out. Just put it out there. Hey, are we spending Valentine's Day together, or should I do a Galentine's Day, or should I hang out with my dog, or whatever? But talk about it and figure it out. It's so passé to not talk about things these days.
Okay.
Communicate, even if it's just to figure out, no, we're doing our own thing. That's okay.
That's okay. All right, y'all got 6 days, right? Today's Wednesday. Y'all got 6 days to figure this out because Valentine's Day, if you didn't know, is on Tuesday.
Yes, everybody, February 14th is Valentine's Day. So many people ask me every year, when is Valentine's Day this year? I'm like, it's the same.
every year, February 14th. Okay, and so couples who've been together for a longer period of time, maybe the romance is slipping away, or, you know, they haven't had a romantic night out in a while.
Yeah.
What should they be doing?
So this is an opportunity to make something happen. Even if it's something small, even if it's a handwritten note and your favorite chips. It doesn't, forget chocolates. Chocolates, if you love it, you love it. But there are so many other things out there that say, I hear you, I see you, I love you, and I want you to enjoy yourself. Here's a pack of whatever. Favorite candy, favorite chips. It can be
chips,
your
Julio's
favorite
chips.
bottle of something. It's all there, and it all has a meaning behind it. So as long as you write down like why, and there are lots of cute ideas online. Go to Pinterest, people.
She's giving you tips here, okay?
Go to Pinterest and keep it, it can be simple. Simple can be very, very sweet.
I mean, I feel like people have the pressure to do extravagant things. Like men are like, gosh, I gotta get the roses delivered to the job. I've gotta get the box of chocolates. And if I don't take her to the new steakhouse that's open, like I'm failing. Should we like temper expectations for each other? Should we
Again.
let him just go crazy?
Okay, so I don't think you should ever tell anyone, like, don't do that, right? Like, don't do that. If you want to make something big and huge, that's fine. But just know you have to take your partner into consideration, because if for them, that's going to make them feel uncomfortable or awkward, or they don't like doing things in public, or maybe they prefer to like keep it sexy at home, and they don't want to be, spending all their time the whole night out in front of other people, and they have some private plans, leave some room for that. But again, I don't think this should be a surprise. If you've been together for over 3 months, 6 months, 3 years, 6 years, this should not be a surprise what you're doing. You should have talked about it, or be totally open to surprise me. I'm down for whatever.
So what about, I feel like a lot of women walk themselves into the situation where they're like, I don't care about Valentine's Day. It's totally fine. We don't need to do anything. But they're at work. They're seeing the flowers come in. They're seeing all this stuff pop up. And they're like, 3 years in, they're like, actually, I would like this attention too. Like, my husband's never sent me flowers. Like, how do you have that conversation of like, I know I pretended to be really cool about it, but now I need the attention, I need the love, I need the steak dinner.
The social media post of the year.
Yes.
No. Well, here's the thing. I feel like if that's something that you want, you either have to slip a little note to your best friend to tell them or to tell your partner, or you need to do something that reciprocates that and that shows that that's what you're into. But if you've told your partner, like I've told mine, I don't want to do any gifts because we're going out for a great dinner and we're going to have a good time. So if that's what your expectation is, you have to share it with them. And if...
Can you tell this to my husband? See, my husband and I always have this agreement of like, we're going to do this, so we're not going to get gifts. My husband, that is his way of showing love, is giving gifts. And so then I feel like afterward because I stuck to the agreement of no gifts and I didn't get him one. And it's like, dude, why didn't we stick to the original plan?
Okay, but that's when you just wrap yourself in a little bow at the end of the night and say, hey!
That's right, that's right. Okay, so I just need to purchase some bows and some string.
A bit of ribbon.
And you think he'd accept that? All right, that's fine.
I hope so.
He better, he better. But guess what, Dr. Viviana? We've got some couples here. And they've been together for some years. So we're gonna do a little relationship check-in, see where they are on Valentine's Day. You down?
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, before we get to that though, we actually had Veronica go try some stuff. So stick around, you're gonna see what she bit into. Welcome back to the Nightcap. We've been talking about relationships ahead of the Valentine's Day holiday, but we also talked about steak dinner. And so we had to see if V can or V can't with some meat.
Emily.
Hi. Hi.
So, girl, tell us a little backstory about the meats here at RC Ranch.
This is RC Ranch, the butcher shop located at the Houston Farmers Market. We are a Wagyu ranch out in Angleton, family owned and operated. The butcher shop has been open for a year since last December. We make all our sausages in-house.
Yeah.
We have bacons, we have tons of cool things, jams, jellies, everything produced in-house. And the best part is that we also have some cookie dough that is made with beef tallow,
Okay.
which is rendered beef fat.
So you have meats and more.
Yes,
Oh,
we
I
do.
love that. And you mentioned Wagyu. What is that?
So Wagyu technically translates to Japanese cow, and it's a
Wait,
breed-
hold on. Press pause. Japanese cow.
Yeah, it's a Japanese breed. We got our original cows, and then we started breeding them, and now here we are 12 years later with a whole ranch
Yeah.
and tons of land out in Angleton, so yes.
And of course, we could not leave this fine establishment without trying some meats. Yes, I'm
Yes.
ready, Emily. So tell us, what am I gonna be trying?
The first thing we have right here is our Wagyu ribeye, and then we have a New York strip, or your strip loin.
Yes.
And then we have beef bacon. The cool thing about beef bacon is that we grab the cow's belly, like the navel,
Yeah,
and we cure it and we smoke it the same way you would do to pork bacon.
Yeah.
But it's beef, so it's super, super delicious, super
Yeah.
different, and makes a great BLT. So
Yes, BLT. Okay.
And then this one is our Wagyu boudin. Traditional boudin is made out of pork and liver
Yes.
and rice. Ours is beef, liver, and rice.
Yeah.
And then right here
Ooh,
we
sweet
have
treats, guys.
They are triple chocolate chip cookies made with beef tallow.
Okay, run that
So-
back, Emily. Made with what?
Beef tallow, which is a rendered beef fat. This is a great way of using the whole animal from head to toe.
Getting the most out of the animal.
Exactly.
Okay, so we gotta do this the V-can't style, y'all. So y'all ready for me to dive in? Cause I'm ready. All right, ribeye, bye-bye in my mouth. Mmm. I can already taste the flavor, and I love flavor.
Yeah.
It's well seasoned, it's tender, and it's giving it everything it's supposed to give for a ribeye. Veronica can, baby. New York strip, honey. All right, here we go. Mmm, so juicy and flavorful. This is good, y'all. Veronica can, hey. I'm a country girl. I'm gonna do this with my hand. Mmm. So you know it's good, y'all. When the first bite, you can taste the flavor. Yes, Veronica can. Look at this, y'all. Ooh. Mmm. Veronica can with the boudin, okay? I gotta try these cookies, y'all. Mmm. Viviana can. This is really good.
Yeah?
And of course, I love a good cookie with flavor. This is chewy. I absolutely love everything. Listen, Beto misses her kettle, okay? You missed our boo-boo. We had a good time eating all of this delicious food, talking to my girl Emily, schooling us on Wagyu and the beef lard and all the things, all right? So guys, I am loving this. Verona can across the board. All right, guys, I need y'all to keep it plugged in. Stay right there. We have more Nightcap coming.
Welcome back to the Nightcap. We've been talking about Valentine's Day approaching and what should you be thinking about as a couple, right? So we've actually have two couples joining me and Dr. Viviana. We've got Gerald and Brittany,
Yes.
who've been married for how many years now?
Almost 13.
years.
13 years,
Yes.
almost 13. And we've got Naomi and Jacob, who've been together
6 years.
years.
A little over 6 years.
a
yeah.
little over 6 years. All right, so what are the Valentine's Day plans?
Just to
For
find
me,
a
I'm working.
What are they?
I work at a steakhouse, so I'm busy.
Oh.
Always working on Valentine's Day.
Always busy on Valentine's Day.
So then does that mean that y'all don't celebrate at all, or you wait until after or before?
I think it depends on the year.
Yeah.
Well, what's
Maybe there's a
happening
good
this
show
year?
happening. We have no plans this year.
No plans. I mean, she started a new job recently. I'm busy as always, and neither of us are too big on Valentine's Day to begin with. So.
Excuses. We need some plans.
Oh no, that sounds like Naomi is into
Girl, you-
some Valentine's Day plans.
We'll see. Maybe what do y'all have going on?
It's a Tuesday
Oh,
night.
yeah, she wants to hear. Okay, so what?
Just wake up at
Brittany,
5:30.
Gerald.
We're just trying to find a sitter and take a good nap.
I mean,
and,
I got the spa day that we're
oh
gonna do.
yeah, so he's
we
been
got-
shopping.
We got a
for
spa
the
day,
event.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but you said we go get massages, then that doesn't make it special. I mean, just call one for Valentine's Day, and then all of a
sounds
sudden
great.
you've acknowledged it.
There you go. Oh no, I'm definitely going to treat her nicely, like on Valentine's Day. Like I'll
know
probably
what?
wake her up with coffee.
Come on, Naomi.
We
sound
do
off.
have plans. We do. Look, I made plans for us.
Oh,
Yes.
thanks.
We're gonna go get some mani-pedis
Oh,
next
this
Saturday.
weekend, right?
Let's call that for Valentine's
Right.
Day. A little hygiene.
Okay.
And you guys are married, but y'all aren't, right?
Correct.
Correct.
Is there a reason for this? Did y'all decide like marriage ain't for us, or are you just waiting?
It's
Naomi leaned back.
I know. Like, let's let him take us away. I'm just curious.
I mean, I'm not afraid of being married. Neither of us are very traditional in a lot of senses, so
It really wouldn't change anything. And y'all, I have a thing about my last name.
she doesn't want
attached
to change
to
her
it?
name.
I'm attached to my
Keep your
last name.
Okay.
name. There's no.
Fair enough.
Beyonce
Okay.
did it.
Let's see what else. I don't know. It just
Beyonce
really
dropped
hasn't
her
come
last
up
name.
too much for us. We're like,
So yeah. Let me jump in because for the rest of us who are married, and for all of you out there who are married, I think everyone says, I don't think it will change things. But it always changes things. There's something about joining this club that there's no rule book, yet you're under some sort of expectations from society. All of a sudden, you buy into certain things or you don't, and that's a struggle. So when you say you don't think it will change anything, if things are awesome now, they could be better, they could be worse. So if things are going really well, which I can tell that there's some good stuff going on here, there's some love there, then there's no reason for you to get married.
To my married couple. All right, so this is, what number Valentine's Day is this? It's probably not 13.
Like 19.
Yeah,
19.
Yeah,
Okay,
19.
so what's different for this Valentine's Day?
So I used to be really low key on Valentine's Day. Like you don't have to do much. A little bit goes a long way. Now I'm like, hey, can I get a little extra or something? Like do a little rose petal on the floor. You know, make me a little
Did
bad.
that last year.
Okay,
out great.
okay,
Nice.
okay.
I went
He's
all
like,
the way out.
Put respect on my name.
Exactly.
It took a long time to get there, but we got there.
Okay.
And so now this year I'm like, you know, it's cool. I had it. It worked. I loved it. It doesn't have to be that this year. But I still want a little special or something. And then I'm trying to figure out how to do the same for him because guys don't get a lot of love on Valentine's Day.
That's what I want to hear.
yeah.
So maybe you can tell me later, but do you have a special something planned for him?
So I bought a few things on Amazon, little outfits and little stuff.
We spoiling
Something to
surprises
try,
up in here.
yeah. Trying to, just do a little something, and then of course like mani-pedis, and just like, hey, let me do your hair, let me massage your feet, just different stuff like that. So
Are you finding it's harder to keep the romance going year after year?
no,
No?
it seems really easy.
The toughest part is the time.
Finding
Work,
the time.
children, and family. You just get so bogged down with everything that's going on. Just getting the time to be with each other is tough. But we still been making it, our little time here and there. Maybe it may be at 2 o'clock in the morning. We're sitting up
Yeah.
talking to each other or playing cards in the bed or something. But we
You
make
all
time.
sound like the ideal. So what is your advice for people? Because wow.
My number one go-to is always just be like so transparent, like it hurts. Like communicate out the wazoo. Like don't lie, don't hide. Even if you feel like it may hurt their feelings, even if you feel like it's gonna make you look stupid. Like you just gotta be so blatantly honest and communicate about everything, because that's the only way you grow together.
Every time she goes one direction, I either follow or we discuss it, and then we're like, okay, I understand why you're doing that. But like she said, communication is key. And for guys, communication is key, guys. If you get to a point, and I know this may not be a part of it, but we got Dr. Vivian here. I got to a point where I could not communicate with her, and we had to reach out to a therapist. So therapy is something that is not a bad option,
Dr. Viviana's like, check,
Yes.
check,
Yeah.
yes. Communicate.
Communicate.
We love it.
And if you get into the arguments point, set a time point that you're going to come back and talk about that.
Oh, I like that. I like
Walk
it.
away from
And
it.
actually come back and talk.
Actually come back. And
Do
actually
the
come
work.
back.
And we will be right back because we have some viewer questions from social media for Dr. Viviana Coles, and she's going to answer them. So stick around. Welcome back to the Nightcap. We've been talking about Valentine's Day and relationships around the big holiday and whether you should be checking in and making sure everything's good. And we have Dr. Viviana Coles here, and we got some social media questions for you, Boo Boo. So let's pull up that first one because I got comfy. All right. What's your most reliable advice for a couple just needing to get away from everyday life?
Okay, whether you can leave your house or not, I'm a big fan of creating a sexy sanctuary wherever you are. And if that includes finally using the lock on the bathroom, turning the shower on, and maybe putting a little cot somewhere in your closet or on your bathroom floor or around your tub, this is an adults-only, couples-only sexy sanctuary. Most people create privacy in their bedrooms, and if you can't get that, head to the bathroom.
All right, put a lock on it. Okay, so the next question is, what do you do when your sex drive is non-existent and have zero desire to have sex? Ooh, so many low libidos. What?
Absolutely. Of course, I hear this all the time. And one of the easiest ways to get that spark going is with erotica. Erotica can be in audio format, it can be in literature. Sometimes people call it cliterature. It is all about.
Is this not porn? This is not
So
porn.
this is more of erotic literature. It's stories. So it's not visual pornography, but I love audio erotica. I love erotic literature. All of those things tend to you can imagine yourself in those situations. Anytime you can imagine yourself in those situations, you can start to kind of rev things up.
All right, this is the most nightcap question we've received. So get ready. We made a connection, but I'm married and he's married. Now what?
Okay.
Lord.
So, yeah, you should have been in my office. But here's the thing. I think that for a lot of people who have found themselves in this unfortunate situation, because I don't care who you are, this is not going to go well. It's not going to go well.
Yeah.
So if you have found a connection with someone else, obviously I'm going to say what a lot of people are thinking, which is, why did you connect with them to begin with? But we're not going to delve into that right now, but we'll say, okay, now what? First of all, I think that it's important that you cut off communication with that person. You have to figure out what's going on in your own house before you can reach out and even begin to try to create something successful with someone new. If you don't work through whatever it is that's going on in your primary relationships, it will haunt you in whatever relationships come up next. So it's really complicated. I tend to do this and see this, unfortunately, on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And so it's not going to go well if you just dive right in and think, well, the rest will work itself out. No, you have a primary relationship to consider, especially if you have dependents. Work on all of that first. Close things out or work through it and get better with your primary, but it's not just going to go away. So you need to set those boundaries and get very serious about it.
Yeah, the first connection is important than the one you just made.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of our brains during those situations will be working as if we're on cocaine. This is not reliable, and these aren't reliable feelings. It can feel that way, and it is very serious. So it's not like it's just going to go away.
Yeah.
You have to take precautions. Either figure out how to close things out in your primary so you can move on with this other person. Chances are, statistically, it's not going to work out with this other person. First-time marriages have a 50-50 chance at this point, and marriages that, you know, your second marriage, it actually goes down to like 75% chance of it not working out. You have to do the work to make sure that it does.
All right, so we got to do the work, we got to communicate, and we need to do a little something on Valentine's Day, right?
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us here on the Nightcap. And you better get ready for Valentine's Day because we're 6 days away, baby. Thanks, doctor.
Thank you.